Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to GTA Online Hot Takes, the show where you, the viewer, will give me your hottest takes about GTA Online, and then I will give my shares and opinions about them. There's over 200 submissions, so I won't be going through all of them between YouTube and Twitter, so make sure to keep them coming on the YouTube community page as well as on the Twitter posts. Both will be linked in the description down below if you want to submit yours for future episodes. The inconsistency in this game makes it borderline unplayable. Now, I'm inclined to say that they probably means unplayable. I do think that the game has some major inconsistencies, especially in its matchmaking, but to say that it's borderline unplayable, I wouldn't go that far. It does very much get on my nerves. Now the hot take, but a fact, GTA Online scores absolutely bangs. Doomsday High Score is actually a remix version of the original High Score. If you have a close listen, you'll probably be able to hear it as well. The character creator is one of the worst I've ever seen in a video game. I'm inclined to agree, but I want to give an asterisk to it as well. If you just know what the original character creator was like, and I'll have some footage of it on the screen as well so you can see what I'm talking about, was even worse than we currently have in the game. It's definitely going to take you a while to make a reasonably looking GTA Online character. Red Dead didn't have as much of an issue, but I think even in Red Dead Online, they definitely have some steps to go to get even as close as I guess most people would want to make their characters like you have in Saints Row. You know, the last game was trash, but the character creation was still great. It has literally been the best online game since 2013 and still has so much potential. I'm inclined to agree with this one, solely on the fact that there is literally something for everyone. If you're someone who enjoys car culture, just likes racing or anything involved with cars, this is a great game for that. The driving is rather intuitive, it's easy to pick up, but difficult to master. If you're someone who enjoys doing death matches or just any sort of PvP content, it's not great on console, I'll give you that. But most of it is pretty easy to pick up. PvE content, plenty of things to do. You can go on heist, like there's a whole lot of different things you can do. To say that it still has so much potential, sure, but I feel that in many ways GTA Online has kind of rolled up to a roadblock because they've already done so much and utilized so much of its potential. So I'm curious to see what the summer DLC is going to be. Smuggler's Run is one of the best DLCs with fantastic and unique vehicles, a great property, fun although poorly paying missions, and the best soundtrack of any DLC. That's a spicy take. Now, I'll give Smuggler's Run one thing. It definitely has a lot of unique and great vehicles, but I think that especially with the rise of the lock-on missiles and everything, air combat in many ways was poorly timed. It came directly after the gun running DLC, which basically gave people a heap of different things to get anti-air measures in a DLC, but that was then followed with a lot of air vehicles. The property and the missions that are not really fun. I think that a lot of these Smuggler's Run missions really dragged out. There are definitely some highlights in there, but overall, I feel a lot of those missions just dragged on for too long and felt more like they were trying to be story missions than something that you get 10k for. I think, yeah, payouts is one thing, but I don't know. It's never really something like, oh, let me go play some hangars, because typically when I try to do a hangar mission, I'm just like, yeah, this is not worth my time. Best soundtrack in the game, can't really be the judge, haven't heard it in a little while. I'll put it in the background of the video though. The Doomsday Heist is hands down the best heist in GTA Online. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with this. I'm curious to see, let's have a little look. It's boring and ridiculous, the funnest and most frustrating. It's really fun, but it's hard to get the Elite Challenge because of the bugs. Storyline, yes. As Abraham Lincoln says, a vampire hunter fan is disappointed in you. What? Doomsday Heist, in my opinion, and here it might be a bit of a hot take, is effectively the only challenging thing in GTA Online. Even for like more veteran players. The rest of the heist and the rest of the content is something you could easily breeze through. Especially stuff in free mode. Because, you know, Oppressor Mark II. Adversary modes are the most underrated and fun thing in the game. I'm gonna add to that and say that adversary modes are massively suffering from the player base as a whole being solely focused on nothing but wanting to make money and nothing else. Because if that was not the case, there certainly would be a lot more people playing these, because there are some really unique and really fun modes in there. But most of them do suffer from the adversary mode curse, where if they would have done a few other things, or they would have, like, you know, patched it a little bit here, a little bit there, and make it just a little bit more refined, or make like a little bit of a better choice, a better balance, it will be better. I think a lot of the times adversary modes nowadays have kind of this stigma where they're like, money is worthless. Having hundreds of millions of dollars in your bank account doesn't mean anything when there is limited things to buy and you're just left rotting when they end support. I'm gonna agree with this one. I personally feel that I see no reason to have any more than about $40 or $50 million in my bank account, and it's solely for the reason that the only reason I will use that money is to make YouTube videos and streams. That's really about it. I have no desire of having hundreds of millions of dollars in my bank account, because it would just be a number and I have zero use for it whatsoever. I don't see the point in grinding my absolute face off. Here's a hot take for you. GTA Online is not holding down the release of GTA 6. In fact, the scale of 6 would have been much smaller and the game would have come out much less polished. It wouldn't speed up the release, however. 5 took 7 years to develop, 6 is reportedly double the scale, so do your math yourself. Yeah, I feel that a lot of these people are screaming and shouting GTA Online is the reason as to why GTA 6 is taking so long. Undoubtedly, it has had an impact, but it also allowed Rockstar to take more time and polish the game more and make it a bigger game without needing the rush of releasing a new game again to refresh basically the new copies that people are going to buy, the new online service, the new invested money that people will start buying into it. It definitely will go a long way to help with that. Cayo Perico is just a good way to make money and not a good heist. I've done an entire video on this, what I think about that, so go watch that. The comment section completely missed the point of that video. It was really funny. Arena War was a great DLC. My dude, I just got you some toilet paper. You know why? Because that was a shit take. Fuck out of here with that shit. Let me read the rest. I knew this one was coming. I just knew it was gonna happen. I just knew it. Arena War was a great DLC. Modes and cars were fun. Yes, the modes died a little bit after the DLC came out, but the cars are still kicking. Oh, and personally, the LTS updates and the flight school updates were jokes. I will be giving you that the flight school update was definitely not really deserving of as much hate as it got. It was small, just like the LTS update, but both were pretty decent, especially for its time. Now, to say that the cars are fun, definitely. The cars undoubtedly are one of the most unique and interesting cars within the game. When it comes to the modes, oh my god, they could have done so much more with it. They're literally glorified adversary modes, and honestly, I do not enjoy them whatsoever. It's not satisfying. If you want to make something like the Arena War modes any sort of satisfying to play, it needs to have the same kind of destructibility and that sort of stuff like Wreckfest. Honestly, you just need it. There is no other way. It just has to be done. Here's a hot fiery take. Cargo griefing in 2022 isn't bad. I'm gonna incline to agree with this one. Personally, I don't really sell a heap of cargo anymore, but at times that I do it, I honestly don't really get griefed all that often. In my years of playing the game, I always sell in public sessions. Sure, granted, there are some crew members who help me out, but most of the time we are really just being left alone and we just sell our stuff and we're totally fine. There are some instances here and there, but I think often people definitely either get really unlucky or it's just really blown out of proportion. And like NJ over here says, you know, especially now with public lobbies. It really has become a non-issue, really. Rockstar needs to add more special and fun vehicles and updates because they make the game more fun. Not necessarily PvP vehicles, but the ones where you can jump, boost, etc. are so much fun. Then the last few updates have been feeling boring because they're just normal cars that just appeal to car guys. I'm gonna agree with this one for sure. For the simple reason that while those overpowered things like the Preston Mark II and the Ruiner 2000, that sort of stuff, are from a PvP balance just simply they're not really that great to have in the game. But if you look at it from how fun they are to use and how unique and interesting they are, it definitely is kind of filling that hole of not only being able to drive just regular cars. I feel the Rockstar might have also kind of become a little bit afraid with trying to add those type of vehicles because of the pushback that they always have been getting from people and the community as a whole whenever they do release them. Having said that, there's definitely been some highlights in the past few updates that there's definitely been some more interesting cars in there. Think, for example, the Imani Tech stuff, which is definitely also a nice addition. Playing in an invite-only session and minding your own business is so much more fun than playing regular online with randoms. I'm gonna give you a hot take in return. Playing the game in nothing but invite-only session, you might as well just play the game in single player, because at that point, what are you even doing playing an online game? I feel that I get it for certain aspects of the game, and invite-only session is much more appealing. I am also a frequent user of invite-only sessions to do certain things quicker and without too much hesitation. But I feel that generally speaking, if you're selling your businesses or you're just doing anything at all, honestly, why not go into a public session? The amount of times that I've just seen random things happening within the game and getting a laugh out of by playing with said randoms, there's definitely been a lot of, interesting and fun moments there for sure. Heck, business battles are some of the most fun things to do in the game because you're being chased by people who want the same thing as you. It's still good fun. GTA Online has the best monetization for any AAA service game where you never have to spend a single dime. Yes. GTA Online very much feels like it's still optional to buy shark cards. The start of the game is very, very rough, but once you have certain things within your portfolio, you're more than fine. Especially those folks starting out on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, the new version of the game gives you that bunker where, honestly, within just a matter of a couple of hours of playing the game, I tested it out myself. It took 10 hours to be able to buy Kosaka, and then you're off to the races, really. Honestly, it definitely is just very, very optional still. Yeah, you can say that the rises in prices over the time has definitely gotten worse, but it's very much feels like the game still has an optional desire for you to get something for some shark cards rather than forcing you to do so, at least in my opinion. Cayo Perico is an enjoyable heist. Alright, and we're gonna end it on that one. If you want to have your future hot takes featured within the next video, make sure to do so in the post. I'm gonna link in the description down below, either on Twitter or on the YouTube community page, because I'll just scroll through them again and see if we can find some new hot, fiery takes indeed. There's over 200 of them submitted, so we have a few more we can put in the next episode. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe for more, and become a member like Chloe, KFC Chicken, Shapesafe Gaming, Scott, and GTA Plus. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.